how to draw the fastest thing alive, Sonic. And it's going to feel fast, so I'm going to teach you a trick. So first we're going to start with the head, and now we're going to work on our gesture drawing. And gesture drawing is taking shapes and lines and kind of forming what we're wanting to form without getting really focused on the detail. And how I started off is I started drawing the hand, and I started drawing a pointing pose because Sonic's a really action-filled character. And then I started to kind of form where I wanted his hand to be placed, and kind of looking down at my own hand to make the shape. And then I started working on the body, and the body is a bean shape, so draw kind of like a kidney bean. And then I started working on the legs, and with the legs I wanted to give him a more dynamic pose because I know that Sonic isn't, he's not still, he's ready to go, he's ready for action. And then leaning into that pose, I realized that one of my foots is going forward, so you need to draw a shoe that's not just a triangular shoe at the bottom, but something that has perspective and is facing forward. And that's how I draw, is I draw like more of a rectangular shape for the shoes when they're forward, and then on the side of the shoe I draw more of a triangular shape. What this will do is Sonic will now have 2 points that his shoes are facing, giving him depth of field, which is really important when you're starting your underbase and creating dynamic art. And don't forget to add the tail. Next, I started working on his face. I started with the nose, and then I added his muzzle, which is more another bean shape. As you can tell, he's made out of a lot of bean shapes and fluid lines. Then I jumped over and I realized I forgot the other hand, so I started sketching out a really rough hand. I wasn't too focused on it being perfect. Then coming back to the face, I started to work on his eyes, which are like an 8, if you think like the top half of an 8. His eyes are ovals in the inside as well. Working on his eyebrows, and one key fact to Sonic is that his eyebrows come a little bit off to form this ridge. When I started working on the ears, there's just a triangle and then an inside triangle. And then for his spikes, it's sort of like shark fins, if you think about it. They kind of overlap and take form over each other. So then I'm going to speed up the video now, and we're going to work on the refine sketch. What this does is it takes your under sketch and it gives it the form that you're wanting it to be. So whenever I'm working on Sonic, I give it this underbase because I want it to be dynamic, and I know that my initial drawing is not going to be perfect the first time. So it gives me a chance to look at my shapes and look at my line art and rework it. And I always encourage people to do an underbase because it always makes the process a lot more fun to draw in the initial beginning, and then you can come back and fix it all up. This is how I draw Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm so happy that you got to learn something new today.